There's been a debate whether the New Testament was made up and what language it was originally written in. We have to look at the fact that back then, many people, including the Hebrews, were bilingual, speaking Greek, Aramaic, Latin, and some Hebrew. Seeing that Greek became a more common language, Greek may have been chosen based on a wider universal understanding. This is why the New Testament is commonly found in the Greek. I also want to add that there are far more canons not included in the Bible that people are unfamiliar with. Pertaining to the Pizzo family, Atwal is a writer who has become known for his work Caesar's Messiah, the Roman conspiracy to invent Christ. In his work, he goes to say that Christ was the invention of a Roman emperor and that the New Testament was written by first-century historian Flavius Josephus. Atwell's thesis is more or less a redone version of the old Pisonian conspiracy theory pertaining to the Pizzo family. This topic has been revamped several times by others before Atwell, like Bruno Bayer, 1877, Christos Caesarian. This leads me to believe that this is a persuado history work and that the New Testament is valid. So what do I mean by persuado history? Persuado history covers a variety of theories that do not agree with the view of history that is commonly accepted by mainstream historians, which are often not properly researched, peer-reviewed, or supported by the usual historiographical methods. One of the primary examples of persuado history is the Holocaust denial, but many types of conspiracy theories are also properly classed as persuado history. One of the characteristics distinguishing persuado history from history is shared with other forms of persuado scholarships, the choice of medium, normal scholarly debate, including legitimate historical revisionism, is conducted in specialized publications such as journals. Many persuado historians jump that step and directly publish their claims in a popular format in books and articles aimed at the non-specialist general public that cannot effectively evaluate their plausibility. Though real history has many gaps and plausible assumptions are sometimes necessary, the historian behind it seeks the truth and honest mistakes can be made. Persuado history is the work of intentional revisionism or diluted attempts to desperately prop up beliefs. This isn't to say different presumptions of history are unreasonably given ambiguous findings, but reasonable historians don't try to shoehorn their agenda into the past. Honest historical research tries to find the blanks that need to be filled in. That being said, I'd like to present you with 3 examples of Mashyach found in the Tanakh or Old Testament. In doing this research, I encourage you to parallel both a Hebrew to English interlinear Bible with an English Old Testament side by side. First, let's look up the word Shiloh. Pronounced Shilah, with Strong's number 7886 says, an epithet of the Messiah. Synonyms for epithet are a byname, a title, or nickname. So, Shilah is a nickname for Messiah. Now the passage. Bereshit, or Genesis 49:10 reads, from the Hebrew to English, the scepter shall not depart from Yehuda, nor a lawgiver from between his feet until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. So we see in the book of Bereshit, or Genesis, the coming of a Messiah was actually mentioned. Now the next chapter. Yeshayah, or Isaiah 53, 1 through 12. And to whom was the arm of Yahuwah revealed? For he grew up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of dry ground. He has no form or splendor that we should look upon him, nor appearance that we should desire him. despised and rejected by men, a man of pains and knowing sickness, and as one from whom the face is hidden, being despised, and we did not consider him. Truly, he has borne our sickness and carried our pains. Yet we reckon him stricken, smitten by Elohim, and afflicted. But he was pierced for our transgressions, he was crushed for our crookedness. The chastisement for our peace was upon him, and by his stripes we are healed. We all, like sheep, went astray. Each one of us has turned to his own way, and Yahuwah has laid on him the crookedness of us all. Who has believed our report? He was oppressed, and he was afflicted, but he did not open his mouth. He was led as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before its shears is silent, but he did not open his mouth. He was taken from prison and from judgment, and as for his generation, who considered that he shall be cut off from the land of the living, for the transgressions of my people he was stricken, and he was appointed a grave with the wrong and with the rich at his death, because he had done no violence, nor was deceit in his mouth. But Yahuwah was pleased to crush him. He laid sickness on him, that when he made himself an offering for guilt, he would see a seed, he would prolong his days, and the pleasure of Yahuwah prosper in his hand. He would see the result of the suffering of his life and be satisfied. Through his knowledge, my righteous servant makes many righteous, and he bears their crookedness. Therefore I give him a portion among the great, and he divides the spoil with the strong, because he poured out his being unto death, and he was counted with the transgressors, and he bore the sin of many and made intercession for the transgressions. From reading this passage, it clearly sounds like the crucifixion of the Mashyach. Yashaya, or Isaiah 62:11. Behold, Yahuwah hath proclaimed unto the end of the world. Say ye to the daughter of Zion, Behold, thy salvation cometh. Behold, his reward with him, and his work before him. Now we see in this passage that salvation is referred to as a person, Yahusha, which means Yahuwah our salvation. Also in the book of Enoch 46:1-3, the Mashyach is also mentioned, but I'll leave this one up for you to study. In conclusion, Yahusha our Mashyach does exist, and these passages, along with many others, can be found in the Old Testament as well as other missing canons. Well, I hope you found this evidence helpful. All praise and glory to Yahuwah and to Yahusha HaMashiach. To you and yours, Shalom.